Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode 22. This we're discussing episodes 20 through, you're probably thinking, is it 21? No, 24. 20 to 22 is the last three episodes of the first era of J.A.K.Q. Yes, features the last three of the Devil robots. Yep. The first one, the first one's Devil Beam. Yeah, there's like Devil Beam, Devil Batter, Devil Scrap. Devil Batter, I'll talk about him first. He's the second in this series of the baseball themed monsters, except that he's not, they would like a baseball is basically about a batter. He's obsessed with baseball. And he tricks the Jack thinking, oh yeah, I was banished from crime because he was useless. So he gets inside the HQ, basically second operation. You figure out, and eventually, thanks to Joker talking to him, it's figured out though, yeah, this guy is lying. He's a spy, and he tries to blow up one of the Vision HQ. He tries to, but fails. Eventually, of course, Jack himself basically finds out basically about the whole thing, and he pretty much is taking out the guy pretty easily. Also, I should point out though, about 2022, it's the last time that that the Jack convert basically the four of them, where they circle around a monster, where they circle around, use their magnet, and basically push them up in the air and they explode. Yeah, 22 is the last time they tried to do it in 23, but it ends up failing. Probably because they kept changing, they kept doing it with a monster thing. Yeah. Now, in the case of Devil Beam himself, yeah, his episode is quite unique. Why is that? Because it features the last ever, I kid you not, last ever crime boss in the series. Yes. Who turns out to be the assistant. Yeah, it's the assistant chairman, and he is in fact a crime boss. Yeah, assistant chairman of this. Yeah, it's all about getting this jewel that crime really want to get their hands on. And it looks like appears that crime succeeds, but nope, it's a fake. Yeah, we're fooled twice. And here's the thing: when Dobie is defeated, is he executed by Iron Claw? No, he just knocked in the head, just knocked out, and never seen again. Yeah, there's also this little subplot about Princess Cindy. Yes, that's seriously her name, where she just comes by to visit, and she wants to get to her of Tokyo, so Agents 8 and 9 take her around. And then, of course, Devil Beam goes after him. By the way, BEM is basically stands for Bug-Eyed Monster. Then, of course, after he's defeated, this will, of course, over Jewel. The Jewel is basically this sapphire. And then, of course, her little toy thing, which is kind of like a flute, apparently was a private. She gives it to a local boy, and just a right. And then, well, at one point, he had to get it back because apparently the real Jewel, because at first, basically, they thought it was in a suitcase that the chairman carried. Nope. And then they tried again, and apparently it was kept inside this wall. Nope, that was a fake too. And it turns out the real one was actually inside the princess's toy. And they get the toy back and the jewel. And, well, then of course they defeat the monster, and that's it. Jewel goes back on with the princess, along with the colonel. And that's last scene. The little boy has a brief appear at the end, and that's it. Devil Batter, basically, they kind of retread this also with episode 24 with Hell's Angel. Yeah, basically it's no longer Devil, it's Hell. Where it's like, oh, we have the Devil Batter where he's like, oh, playing baseball with kids, treating him rather bad. And of course they trick, of course he's the spy one. And at first, basically, the Jack thinks, oh, he's harming the kids. No, he's just basically playing baseball. Yeah, then, of course, like I mentioned before, he was defeated. Now, the thing about the very last one, Devil Scrap, he is the last official of the, mechanical monsters. Yeah, he's the last official one. And like some of them, basically, they wear the white suit coat. His basically is about using martial arts and trying to basically take care of the J.A.K. that way. Yep. And, well, and then pretty much like they have it to where they capture the kid, and of course the J.A.K. can't transform. But look at Joker basically tries 3 different ways to get the J.A.K. their suits. First by Sky Ace. Doesn't work. They try J.A.K. Tank. Doesn't work either. And then Joker's like, okay, final tactic. Him disguising himself as one of the grunts in order to sneak the actual capsules back, basically past the guards. And then eventually Scrap himself is defeated. And by the way, the little boy that was kidnapped in the episode, yeah, he's actually a rival of Clover King over this particular toy that he's been using the whole series. Oh, and here's the thing. Now, with 22, that's the last time you will technically see Joker on a regular basis, because he does briefly appear in 23 via video footage. 23 is quite interesting because it's the debut of 3 characters and a brand new weapon. Yes. Now, when was the last time we had a brand new character in the series that wasn't a one-shot character? I believe the last they officially did this that wasn't a one-shot character was probably when they first started out the series, because they very rarely did it. Now, the first character introduced is Shine. Yes, Shine, who is this thing that comes down from the sky. Yeah, he's an alien. And it turns out, though, that the head of the criminal organization Crime, Boss Iron Claw, is not the actual head of this organization. Nope, it's this guy called it's this robot called Shine, and Boss Iron Claw, who people think is the head of it. Turns out he's just a figurehead, and he's just a subordinate of Shine. And he says, "Oh yeah, time to take over the Earth." And he's like, "Okay, but we have to destroy J.A.K. first." Like, "Okay, I'll give you time to do that." And he sends out the first of the first of the invader robots. First up is the Atomic Witch, which I believe is the first female robot they've actually sent out for the series, because generally all the ones previous ones have been male. Yeah, all the previous ones they've sent out in the thing have been all male. And this one basically calls out J.A.K. And they send out, and of course, they try to be, of course, the creature gets away. Of course, they try the J.A.K. Clover thing where they basically send the creature up in the air and basically supposed to explode, but nope, she gets away from it. And eventually they get back to headquarters after she retreats. And instead of finding Joker in the operations room, we find, first basically, after she's supposed to get a chance to basically, here's the thing, she actually defeats J.A.K. Doesn't kill the per se, just sort of beats and puts one on freaking crosses of all things. And look like they're about to be executed, and all of a sudden we see this mysterious man in white show up. Yeah, this is the debut of the second new character this episode, Big One. Yes, a character who's all white, has a helmet of basically a rainbow, carries a staff, a red cape, and has the letter D on his belt buckle. Yep, he's referred to as Big One. And turns out he's a cyborg. Yep, just like the rest of the characters are. And when they get back to HQ, they're wondering where the heck Joker is. And it turns out he's been transferred to a different location. And basically this guy here is to take over as their acting commander. Now, the thing is, I'm not really sure why they changed the premise for. My guess is the reason why they actually changed it because maybe it was going stale. It probably was suffering through some very low ratings at that point. That's a possibility. But why in the world they basically retconned Boss Iron Claw being a subordinate of the creature Shine and bring in Big One, I have no idea. Big One basically was definitely a good idea. Probably to freshen up a series. Why would you retcon the main villain to be basically a lackey for somebody else? Yeah, I thought that was kind of dumb. So, oh yeah, by the way, Big One himself, he's actually really smart. And also apparently, while J.A.K. and their HQ, by the way, the outside of their building is first time I've seen the outside in quite some time. The outside of the J.A.K. HQ has been rarely seen in this series. I think the last time prior to episode 23 that the outside has been seen was maybe back in the pilot episode. But that was it. That was last time it was last seen. Because mostly when they show J.A.K. HQ, it's mostly the main operations room plus a couple of rooms, but the exterior, no, never showed it. Not since the pilot. And apparently Atomic Witch followed them there, snuck in and stole some plans. What plans did she steal? According to Ace, it was the plans for all the weapon bases the ISS basically controls. And crime destroys pretty much all of them except for J.A.K.Q headquarters itself. I'm like, damn, we're starting out basically with this new era with a big bang by having crime basically nearly cripple J.A.K.Q in just episode 23. And then, of course, the debut, Big Bomber, later on, excuse me, where it's a cannon. Yes. Oh, and here's a fun fact about Big Bomber. It is the first weapon of its kind where it's made of basically multiple pieces to build this weapon. It's the first one ever seen in the franchise of Super Sentai. And because of this, every single Super Sentai since this one wrapped up has been using it since then. When I think of stuff like this, I think of the one from like Mighty Morphin, like all the ones from basically the Power Rangers era. This is basically where it got started. Also, here's a fun fact about J.A.K.Q that I looked at to realize though. The Heart Queen is the first Sentai Ranger, female Sentai Ranger, to have her suit have a skirt on it. Because Go Pink, she didn't have one on hers. This one did. Yep, this one did. So eventually, they do defeat the Atomic Witch. Well, Big One himself doesn't really play a big role. He's seen a good amount in this episode. Like you seen running around the place, and well, you have chasing around the HQ, which that was really nice, and him basically giving a good order to Ace to basically put all the bases on high alert. Yeah, really smart this guy is. Though, I'm thinking though, like with all the bases destroyed, like who's gonna make all your weapons, J.A.K.Q? I mean, are you going to basically have money from the Japanese government because this is technically a government agency? So it's not really mentioned per se. But I think Big Bomber might be the last official weapon introduced in the series because, well, right after the debut of Big One, the thing ends 12 episodes later and has a wrap-up movie. So, in the very next episode, we actually have it to where the big thing with this one is you have debut of a new monster, Hell's Angel, which this guy is like Devil Batter. When he first shows up, he's not fighting anybody. Nope, he's not attacking anybody, just hypnotizing kids. And apparently he's a play on the old German story about the Pied Piper. You know, where I kind of heard about this, basically where he hypnotizes children. And he hypnotizes children and basically puts explosives on order to destroy J.A.K.Q. And at first he was want to fight J.A.K.Q because he abhors violence. Then later on he fights J.A.K.Q. Big One himself ends up saving J.A.K.Q again. Yep. Oddly enough, you don't see him transform. He just basically, oh yeah, I'm the acting commander I'm the J.A.K.Q's acting commander. Because here's the thing, he has never actually referred to himself as that. Oh, here's something I thought was really interesting. We had Atomic Witch pose as the director of this like electronics like lab, and then basically have to take a visit by J.A.K.Q because they visited the place twice. He just shows up in her office like, who are you to barge in my office? And then apparently he finds out, though, that this woman actually is Atomic Witch. And then, of course, reveals the mask off. They actually did twice in the episode, which that was quite interesting. So at least you got to praise the fact that Big One is an active participant in these episodes. Joker was occasionally a participant. Mostly just help us some minor stuff here and there. He just most hangs out at the J.A.K.Q. Excuse me. And eventually, of course, well, they destroy Hell's Angel with the Big Bomber, and that's it for him. Yep. Now, we got a pretty interesting start with this one. Oh, yeah, and also Shine shows up at the end of episode 24 to nearly punish the crime boss for his failure. So he's like, give me one more chance. Like, okay, fine, one more chance. And then we have debut of a new monster at the end of the episode. What monster is it? General Agdarum. Yes. Yeah, that's the thing with these ones. There's no, like, devil in front of every single one of these names for every single one of these characters. Like in the case of the original ones. Yeah, in the case of Mechanical Monster, always devil something like Devil Killer, Devil Drill, Devil Might, Devil Gun, Devil Wrestler, Devil Amazon, Devil Electric, Devil Flower, Devil Spider, Devil Cane. That's seriously what this creature is called. Looks like a... We also have Devil Gang, Devil Sphinx, Devil Goo, Devil Wolf. Devil Mummy, who's also a vampire. Devil Ball, 1 and 2. Devil Devil. Devil Fishing. Devil Athletic. Devil Beam. Devil Batter. Devil Scrap. There was 23 of these guys. Yeah, 23. Actually, it was 22. It was always one monster per episode, and then at the end of the very episode, they would pretty much be destroyed. Now we have the era of the invader robots, where basically they have more interesting names, and they always have titles with them. Like, you have Hell's Angel, Atomic Witch. Those are the first ones we have here. But unlike, let's say, the invader robot, unlike the mechanical monsters with 22 of them, the invader robots, there were only 12 of them that were introduced. Yes, 12. So, gotta see more, definitely. Oh, and believe it or not, like, since Finish 24, there's exactly 11 episodes left to go for the entire run. Yep, 11. So I'm hoping for the very next episode, I'm going to discuss episodes 25 to 30. Yep. Alright, but see you next video. Bye.